Let's face it, now that it's over, for many of us 2020 was one of the worst years of our lives. And even if it wasn't the worst, it was definitely not the best. Global pandemic, social distancing, Australia on fire, U.S. riots, murder hornets. I mean, it was definitely a challenging year to be alive. But was it really all that bad? Well, yeah, it was. But really, not even one good thing happened? Well, actually, there were quite a lot of good things that happened. And today we've gathered for you the top 10 best things that happened in 2020 because, silver lining and all that. Are you ready to check them out? Well, let's go. Number 1 is Hero Doggies. In March, a group of dogs that was trained to protect rhinos from poachers managed to save 45 rhinos in South Africa. These very good boys and girls were mostly beagles and bloodhounds, but there were other breeds as well, and they were actually trained from birth in order to track down poachers alongside humans in the Greater Kruger National Park. This amazingly smart project is run by South African Wildlife College and Ivan Carter Wildlife Conservation Alliance. And the numbers alone show how important the work is because in the last decade, more than 9,000 African rhinos have been lost to poaching. Animal rescuing by animal heroes. Humanity, or rather, humanity and animals at their best. Number 2, another win for the LGBTQ community. A landmark decision passed in June in which the Supreme Court ruled that Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 protects the LGBTQ employees from being discriminated against on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. It was a 6-3 ruling, with Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Neil Gorsuch joining the 4 liberal justices in the majority. Now, although to some people it may seem like this wasn't needed, the LGBTQ community has suffered for years because of discrimination, especially in work-related environments. This is definitely the way to move forward. Number 3, empty animal shelters. Animal rescuers know this all too well. Most of the time, the shelters are so full of unwanted animals, and there's no space to bring in new ones. But 2020 and the need to stay home had more people than ever before adopting furry friends. This resulted in animal shelters being thankfully emptier than ever. According to a report from Shelter Animals Count, a nonprofit that collects stats on sheltered animals, shelter intake is down 24% compared to last year. Hey! Number 4, Dad's time off. In other amazing news, February of 2020 found Finland's new government making radical moves to allow fathers to take the same parental leave from work as mothers do. According to the BBC, paid allowance will be increased to combine 14 months, which works out to 164 days per parent. This was made in order to promote well-being and gender equality, and we think it's a marvelous plan and hope more countries follow the example of Finland. Sweden has already the most generous leave policy, offering parents a combined 480 days of parental leave. Number 5, polio was eradicated in Africa. While the whole world is battling coronavirus, many other deadly diseases continue to claim the lives of people around the world. So when we hear that one of them was completely and officially eradicated in a continent as big as Africa, well, you can't help but celebrate. Polio is still active in just 2 countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan, and we hope to hear good news there soon that it's also eradicated there as well, so we can finally close the door on this disease and leave it behind us. Fingers crossed. Number 6, the first Korean to win the Best Director Oscar. When South Korean Bong Joon-ho had the idea for the movie Parasite, we're pretty sure he didn't expect to win an Oscar for it. After all, no other person from the Asian nation had ever won the prestigious award before. But he went ahead and won it anyway, making him write history as the first Korean to win Best Director Oscar for his amazing film. Once you overcome the 1-inch barrier of subtitles, you'll be introduced to so many amazing films, the director previously said during a Golden Globes acceptance speech through a translator, and we can only agree with him. Number 7, Congo discharged its last Ebola patient. A huge step in Congo's fight against the second deadliest outbreak of Ebola in history was made in early March as the last Ebola patient was treated and went home. In November, the 11th Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo was declared over, nearly 6 months after first cases were reported in Equator Province. The World Health Organization congratulated the responders who provided treatment and vaccinated more than 40,000 people at high risk. Number 8. Period products finally become free in Scotland. A huge victory for women everywhere. Scotland has passed a bill in November to make period products, tampons and the like, free to everyone who needs them. The bill passed unanimously, which goes to show that times they really are a-changin' for the better, and the bill requires local authorities to make sure that the period products are not only free of charge, but also available at all times. According to NPR, schools and colleges must make period products freely available to students, and designated public places also have to do the same. Period poverty, or inadequate access to menstrual hygiene tools and education, is a problem that impacts women across the globe, including in the United States. Well, we can only hope that more counties will soon follow Scotland's example. Number 9. Space exploration bloomed. In 2020, NASA launched its most advanced rover yet to Mars and landed a spacecraft on an asteroid. Also, for the first time since the Space Shuttle retired in 2011, a SpaceX rocket sent American astronauts to the International Space Station. Now, that's social distancing that we like to hear about. To the stars and beyond, my friends. Number 10. A record drop in global carbon emissions. While we stayed at home and longed for car rides and exploration, the Earth was healing, and we know how much it really needed it. The global greenhouse gas emissions fell roughly by 2.4 billion tons this year, which is a 7% drop from 2019 and the largest ever decline on record, according to new research from the University of East Anglia, the University of Exeter, and the Global Carbon Project. Let's hope when things get back to normal, this won't get back to normal with them, and it'll continue to decline. It's up to us, after all. Well, there you have it for today, the top 10 best things that happened in 2020, and hopefully it brought a little smile to your face. Please let us know in the comments any other amazing things that happened in 2020, whether it's your personal wins or general things. Don't forget, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing top 10s. We'll see you next time.